takes about 30 seconds for the average youth to be hacked. Let me explain. For the Cybersecurity Awareness Month, we took to the streets and demonstrated how easily it is for us to get people to reveal their sensitive information to us without stressing at all. Now we were able to get information like their passwords, phone numbers, and whatnot in less than a minute. This short documentary is going to give you a detailed breakdown of how that happened and how you can stay safe online. So stick around. Now, here are a few things to know. There are some key steps you are going to follow to social engineer people on the street to have them to reveal their information to us. Like, you need to gather information about them, make them to trust us, then review the information, and if possible, you can use that to get more out of them.
Yo, about to get 1 minute, so replace on game. I don't know whether they're okay with join. I'll try to predict certain things about you, and then in the end I'll ask you 3 questions. If you can answer those 3 questions very fast, that gives you sense. Okay, understand? Yeah. So I'm going to try to guess like 3 things about you.
Now, in the first phase, we begin with information gathering, like guessing just some basic information about them.
How long you don't use phone?
For now, 3 years.
3 years.
Yes.
Okay.
Like how many years?
Yes.
3 years.
Okay, 3 years. So I've been using the phone for 3 years.
Yeah.
A simple question such as, how long have you been using a smartphone, can tell me how old your SIM card is and whether or not you have a Google account, when last you updated that Google account, if you are using Facebook or not, just by asking how long you've been using your smartphone. Now, the understanding behind that question is, if you created your Google account a couple of years back, there is a high probability you don't have 2-factor authentication. That will be explained to you along the line, and that's a target. It's an entry point for me.
Okay, my guess say your number now. Your number starts with 67.
Yes.
Okay. You have a Facebook account?
Yes.
Okay. I'm guessing your phone number starts with 65.
No.
Oh shit, what does it start with?
67.
Okay, cool, 67. You definitely have a Facebook account.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, all of that is deduction, and that is part of the information gathering step. An attacker will come to you or maybe do their research and try to gather information as much as they can about you that they are trying to attack. Whether or not we get any of this information correct, it doesn't matter. This is just to play with your mind and make you feel like we know a little bit about you. And that's how we start building trust. The goal here is to get you as comfortable as we can so that you will forget or not even think about what is actually happening. We are trying to profile the individual, and this can take from something as 30 seconds to maybe 3 months or a year. An attacker can be profiling you just to know the best means of entry. Still at the level of information gathering, whatsoever feedback that they give us, whether or not your number starts with 67 or 65, whatsoever feedback that it gives us only fuels whatever direction we are taking you to. So be mindful of how you share information.
Now these are my 3 questions here. If you answer them very quick, right? 1,000. Now this is the part. If you answer these 3 questions very quick, Sensang.
Yes.
Okay.
To further tickle their fancy, we try to attach something like a prize. This is one of the main reasons why people fall for things like crypto scams or romance scams, because the reward at the end of the day is you probably get to get companionship or maybe make money at the end of the day, and that reward can distort the way you think normally.
3 questions, like answer within a minute. So I'm starting the stopwatch.
Now, introducing something like a time limit for when an action is supposed to be taken also puts you on a tight spot, and it isolates you and lowers your guard in a way that you don't have to even think when you're responding or taking an action that I want you to take. Just a quick recap. We've tried to gather as much information as we can about you. As you see, not very much. The little we have we can work with. We've tried to build trust by maybe failing or predicting accurately and trying to learn from what you give us back. And now we are giving you an incentive for why you need to take the action that you're about to take.
What is your name?
Boneka.
Tracy Pride.
What's your phone number?
67945.
67227.
Now, at this level, we try to ask for something as simple as your name or your phone number. Now, you just feel like that's the very basic information and there is no harm to it. But there is a lot that can be done with just your name or phone number. Now, research has shown that most people around us use either their names, phone number in their passwords, and that is very, very dangerous.
What's your Facebook password?
Facebook password.
Yeah. What's your Facebook password?
This is where the exploit happens, therefore the real hack or the exploitation. We now ask the sensitive information. This can be a simple request, like romance scams. It can be as simple as, send me money, I'm stranded. Because I've built that trust with you, you are compelled to do that, and I'm on a time frame. If you don't send the money, something bad is going to happen. I'm putting you on a tight spot, you are being pressured to take that action. And that is all a scheme of how I want it to play.
I think test IO for
All right, that's a trick question. You answered correctly. So I'm going to answer within 17 seconds. That was very, very good. Okay.
Facebook password.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
As you can clearly see, they reviewed their passwords without even hesitation. Well, there was a little bit of hesitation, but why were they compelled to spill out that sensitive information? Because of how we went through the process. So an attacker will not just come to you directly and try to attack. They're going to build that trust, try to entice you to do things that you're normally not supposed to, and it always works.
Is there a Facebook password for you?
I have two, so I don't know.
What's the other one?
I have
Okay, cool. Which one do you use for Google, for example? Yeah, Gmail. You have a Gmail now. Which one do you use for it? Okay, just.
I think
Okay. Is it capital letters or small letters? Okay, small letters. Okay.
Now, in most cases, even after you have been compromised, the attacker is not going to end there. And this is called escalation. They're going to try to escalate the attack and try to get more information about you. Take this example where we ask if the password is lowercase or uppercases, and the person reviewed the information. That is just giving it in our hands. This person was a little bit too vulnerable, and we exploited that aspect. We escalated the exploit and extracted the information that we wanted.
You've just given me a password now. Do you realize what you have done?
I know.
You just shared your password. There's probability I can do something. Maybe I can go and find out that I also have Instagram. There's a high chance that I'm using that same password across all of these platforms. Okay. Yeah, it's just okay, but you have TikTok. Yeah, there's a probability that I'm using it across all those accounts, right?
In this case, we can clearly see that this person used the same password across multiple accounts. And imagine, now that we have that password, we can enter all those accounts if the person doesn't have two-factor authentication.
I've just convinced you to give me a Facebook password when you're not supposed to do. Yeah, so what has happened?
But that's not a real password.
What's the real password?
You will not know the real password.
So if I put your phone number, put that password lock for your Facebook, you know go.
You know go.
Then a password that you use for is it?
My password on my phone.
Oh, so if I visit your phone, I get access to your phone now.
See?
If I visit your phone, I get access to your phone now.
So you see me else now, you'll tell you anything about my phone?
Yes.
No.
One interesting thing we notice is that after people realize they've given us their password, they try to deny it, saying that's not my real password. This mirrors what happens like when someone has been scammed or hacked and they try to cover it up. They try to downplay the effect. They try to downplay what has just happened, just so they should still feel that superiority. And this is a very common defense mechanism to stay quiet and not talk about it.
So what we're trying to do here is we are raising security awareness. We're just trying to educate you like, why do you give me a password?
I don't know if it's correct. I think maybe it might not and it might not be because I change it.
Okay, how often do you change your password?
Sometimes I want to log into the account.
And you forgot it, then you change it?
Yes.
Now, all of this interaction is a general pattern. This was just an example that we used to demonstrate to you. But it's so much easy and come to you in so many ways. Maybe a phone call, someone messaging you on a social media platform, or however the attacker gets in contact with you. But know that they can tailor the conversation to fit the specific end goal that they have in mind, and that is hacking or scamming you.
Okay, so what we're trying to do is carrying a cybersecurity awareness. In the first place, it's not good for you to share your password. So you should not share your password no matter what. Generally, just be safe. Mind the way the thing works is that now somebody can write you online, try to build trust with you, and then when you trust the person, start revealing information. That's how people get to leak their notes and whatnot, all those kind of things. So be careful. Don't share your passwords. And then when you go, you change your password. Yeah, that's what you say now. That's not your password.
As we've seen in this documentary, it is easier for somebody to gather information about you and use that same information against you. A simple Google search of your name can tell me a lot of things and give me a lot of entry points on how I can attack you.
Something you have to consider today. Another thing we call, two-factor authentication. Have you ever seen it?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, do you have it on your WhatsApp? That's the only place I have it.
Yes,
Yeah, so you need to enable it everywhere.
I do have Snapchat.
Yeah, but any other accounts I have, if the platform has this thing, the feature, make sure that you enable it. It's very important. Okay.
Here are a few steps that you can take to stay safe online. First, be cautious on the type of information that you share about yourself, whether being through a discussion with somebody, online, through social media posts or whatsoever. Things like your phone name, phone number, email address, or even the type of phone that you use. It's an entry point. You can use that information to determine what steps I'm going to take to entice you and possibly get into your accounts. Secondly, you need to be skeptical. It doesn't matter if you're conversing with the person online or offline. Be skeptical about the kind of information or the kind of interest that they are paying to you. I know this is going to mean like maybe you should not have any information, but it's always difficult to stay on guard and have your barriers up. But this is one thing you need to know. If it is unexpected, if it seems too good to be true, then it is definitely not true. Here is another thing. When it comes to online, there are a lot of links flying. You should think before you click. Read the message that you receive. Think about it. Again, if it seems too good to be true, it is not true. Just trust your instinct and don't click on any links that you see around. Well, unless it's me that sent it to you. And I'd like to round up with, make sure you use very strong passwords. Not something very common like your name, maybe date of birth or phone number. Those are very common things. Again, there are resources online that you can follow to see how to use or generate strong passwords. You can use something like a password manager. It's very easy to manage and you don't have to worry about it. And also on your account, if they have two-factor authentication or multi-factor authentication, be sure to enable it. Multi-factor authentication is another means of authenticating yourself before having access into your account. Like maybe sending you an SMS with a confirmation code. You've seen that in so many cases. With that enabled, even if the attacker has your password, you still need a means to get into your email or your SMS or whatever thing to get that code to authenticate themselves the second time before entering your account. Remember, staying cyber aware is a huge task and it's something that has to be involuntary for you. Build this habit, this good habit of the kind of info, be mindful of the kind of information that you share, and it's going to go a long way. It's going to help you. If you're in doubt, ask around. Don't sit in silence. Don't accept that isolation that is being given to you. Like the attacker will try to treat you as an individual, like don't mention this to any other person or whatsoever. But if you are in doubt, ask around. And please listen to advice if somebody is telling you. It doesn't matter if you love the person. Okay? Happy October. Join us and let's take these steps to secure our world.